long before the 26th championship season is upon us. But 97 wins last year, a trip to the NLCS, and here to talk more about that is on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Here's Caleb Durbin. Caleb, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. So we talked to Quinn Priester last hour, and he turncoat. He did a turncoat in the Midwest. He headed down to Tampa, so he's down in Florida. Do you still reside in this wintry nightmare Midwest?
Yeah, so Quinn did the smart thing, and he got out of all the snow. I'm still back at home, so I'm between Milwaukee and Chicago right now, and definitely itching to get out to Arizona pretty soon.
Okay, let me start out with this, Caleb. I've been doing post game a long time, and players have burst onto the scene a little bit, and you did that, and you proved a lot to a lot of Brewers fans. You endeared yourself to Brewer fans, something fierce. And did it surprise you? And you can say no, that's okay. You're confident in your ability. But did it surprise you that it looked like it came easy to you to have success?
Yeah, I mean it definitely didn't come easy. I think in the beginning, I definitely, as a rookie, you take your lumps in the beginning, you try to learn from them. And that's the biggest thing is going into this year, I really didn't know what to expect. And I kind of embraced that part of it. I just really wanted to have a mindset where I was kind of rolling with the punches and then once I was able to kind of get into a rhythm and get my feet underneath me, I had a lot of guys around me that I was able to feed off of and ended up being, a great spot for me.
Yeah, Caleb, not only were you a rookie, but you got traded right beforehand too. And you got to find out it's December of 2024 and you got to figure out how you're going to get to Milwaukee and how you're going to get your life together for the 25 season. Who are some guys in that clubhouse that really helped you out during that? Whether it's fellow teammates, some coaches, how did you make that process as smooth as possible when coming to a new organization before you even get into the big leagues fully all the way?
Yeah, I think that's an underrated part of the business side of what we do. It was my second time being traded before I was even able to get up to the big league. So I think that was probably one of the bigger parts to the whole thing is you're around new guys. Luckily, we have a really solid young core with some really good veterans that are willing to help you. I mean, Style, Joey, Bryce, Isaac, all those younger guys that I'm around all the time. Those young position players, I'm around them pretty much 24/7. And then on top of that, having Murph, leading us and making me feel comfortable right away. Since the first time we talked on the phone right after I got traded over. So the Brewers as a whole, did a great job at making me feel comfortable, and I think that was a big part of me, feeling pretty comfortable throughout the season.
What was the origin of Happy? That's what Murph always called you in post game. I don't know if you want to give away too many secrets or if you can't give it away, but Happy, does that nickname best embody you there, Caleb?
Yeah, honestly, you'd have to go through Murph to get the full story. He explained the story to me. I don't quite understand it still. But I will say the first time I met Murph in person, went up to go shake his hand in spring training last year, about a week before spring actually started. And, I went up to shake his hand and he just said, "Happy?" And I thought he was asking me, am I happy to be here? And I was like, yeah, I'm fired up. And he shook my hand and didn't say anything else. And that ended up being my nickname for, the rest of the year.
That's crazy. So I'm thinking back to what a season it was. It was such a fun ride. And MLB Network had on win number 14 in the streak. And I believe you had homered in that game, if I'm not mistaken. What is that like? You make a big play for one of your pitchers and it ends an inning and it gets you out of a jam. And there's, either Uribe or Freddie just fist pumping and crowd going nuts and all that. I mean, do you have to pinch yourself to say, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of times throughout the year where I definitely felt spoiled, especially as a rookie. I think those win streaks, I think we had an 8-game, 11-game, and 14-gamer. And when you're in the middle of them, it's a special feeling because you're just so locked in the zone. You know, you're really clicking on, you know, all phases of the game to have those types of win streaks, and then you put in perspective once the season ends, and you basically just look back and you're like, wow, like that's, you know, impressive that we were able to accomplish those things. But, you know, during them, it's like it's a really great feeling because you're just so in the zone, locked in. Everyone's kind of doing their part. You know, every day it's someone new stepping up. And that, you know, was really fun to be a part of.
Well, I got to thank you. So on a couple of different fronts. Number one, because I'm a huge Brewer fan. You know that. We've spoken before. Huge Brewer fan. Been doing the post-game show for a million years. So just the fact that you guys won 97 games. But I will tell you this: our sponsor, Potawatomi Sportsbook, and I know you guys don't like to talk about gambling, but on May 31st, think about this, Caleb. On May 31st, I put down $100 on you guys to win the division. Okay, not to win the World Series, but just to win the division at 16-1.
Wow.
Then you guys go on a major roll, and I am just, I'm in heaven here. Then it gets to the playoffs to where you're facing the Cubs, and I hate the Cubs, you know that. And I don't hate their fans or anybody associated with the team outside of just the team itself. Just I don't like the Cubs. Anyway, I didn't want you guys to face the Cubs because my heartbreak would have been just too devastated. I mean, it would have been horrible. But then when you come back and you win that series against that team, arch rival, because it is a rivalry, how did that feel? Not just to move on to the NLCS, but to the fact that you beat Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, after the fact, it obviously felt amazing. When you're in the fight and in the battle, you kind of just are trying to stay locked in, and you know the playoffs is, you know, so it's crazy just in itself, let alone when you're playing a division rival. So you're trying to not make it as big as, you know, it has to be, but winning that series, we felt, you know, it was big for us. Obviously, Cubs are a really good team. It was big for the city, huge for the fans. Like, we definitely felt that. And we were super happy to come through for the whole organization, the whole city. That was, you know, we definitely felt how big that was.
Yeah, you're always happy. That's what I've heard, at least. Yeah. Caleb Durbin, Brewers third baseman, joining us here on Hot Stove Weekly. Two-parter here for you, Caleb. First of all, do you have any sort of working relationship or workout with Randy Arozarena at all?
Randy? No, I do not, unfortunately.
Well, I just wondered because you guys both led the league in hit by pitches last year in the AL, in the NL. I'm wondering if that's why you stayed in the Illinois area, because you can just jump in the snow afterwards. How big is that being a part of your game? I mean, welcome to the big leagues. Get hit by the most pitches in the National League last year. Is it something that you're annoyed after a while, or is it you're used to this and you're almost looking to see if a ball is going to be in a little more and maybe you just wear one on the pad?
Yeah, it's funny because I get that question a lot, because I think if you look at, you know, every season I you know, get hit by a decent amount of pitches. Obviously last year I had maybe 24, 25.
Oh, you're all over it. 24. You knew. Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. And I joke saying that, you know, that's something I practice in the off season. Obviously I don't know how you even practice that. But
it's just that Happy Gilmore scene in you. You're just wearing it as they're coming right down the middle.
We got ice.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's just my approach. I'm not really giving up on pitches. You know, that could be it, but I'll take it any way I can get on base. It only hurts for a little bit, and then, you know, it goes away. So, you know, if it gets me to first base and, you know, can potentially get me in a scoring position, then I'm all for it.
Caleb, you weren't here for the Alonso swing the year prior. But we'll fast forward here to the NLCS disappointment. And I know Murph had said after the Alonso and the Mets losing to the Mets in that series, it taught the players what it takes in that new season. So what did Murph say to you? I mean, we've got a few recordings of Murphy, how he addressed you guys in his post-game pressers and things like that. But I mean, shed some light on what he said after that NLCS disappointment and how that can work in your favor the following year.
Yeah, I think the big thing is obviously in the moment it's really tough. It burns, but he wanted to make sure that we were proud of what we had accomplished throughout the season. And yeah, basically it's the same thing as the year before. It's, you know, there's levels to this thing. And, you know, if we want to get over the next hump and try to make it to a World Series and win the whole thing, then, you know, it's that next step that we have to take, you know, as a team collectively. So yeah, kind of a two-parter there where you try to build off of all the good things that you did the season before, but also there's more work to be done to get over that next hump.
Okay, really quick. You can say just this is the worst question in the world. But do you kind of go through your baseball cards? Do you like buy packs of baseball cards?
Ooh, good question.
Hoping to get a Caleb Durbin or a jersey card or an autograph or something?
You know, it's really cool because I'll have kids come up to me with my baseball card and you know, if it's a new baseball card that I haven't seen before, it's I love kind of collecting them. And I'm not a huge pack buyer. I don't buy a ton of packs, but if I see a really cool card, you know, online, I'll try to snag it because I've never been a huge card guy, but you kind of gain an appreciation for them when you see a bunch of different cool cards, whether it's your teammates or yourself. So I've definitely gotten into it a little bit more.
I pulled a Brandon Lockridge rookie the other day. Hey, just saying.
I need to get my hands on that one.
All right, Caleb, enjoy the rest of your winter. Things are going to heat up here shortly. We'll see you in Arizona. All right.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Caleb Durbin on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Good dude. Take the next step. You never know, man.
You never know.
Little Mighty Mouse. I didn't want to put that on.
You know,
that's what we were
like
calling him.
When they were calling him like the little engine that could last year, I was like, come on, like, give him a little bit of a bump.
I don't know if that would offend him or not.
We need to call him like the Great Khali next year or something. Just Andre the Giant.
Goliath.
Yeah, Goliath. I like it. Yes.
Yeah, like calling a fat guy Slim.
yeah, right.
Just go the opposite.
Call me Slim.
There's Tommy Wirtz, Tim Allen, Hot Stove Weekly, live here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you guys want to jump in here, we've got a couple of minutes. We'll read some text messages on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. That's 414-677-1250. We'll be right back.